Really excited for today or this weekend. I think that our team played some good basketball. We were challenged on Friday with in my opinion, a top 25 team. I know they're not officially top 25, but Utah's a very good team that is extremely talented offensively. And then for us to come back, so win that game on Friday, for us to come back and play a really good defensive team that's different than Utah, it's a really good sweep for us. You always want to take care of home and at least split on the road. So just proud of how we were able to finish up this weekend. Today, not happy with how we started, but happy with our character. So we didn't lay down. We kind of bounced back after that and controlled the game. And Colorado's very good.
What was the difference that allowed you to come back after that first? What changes?
I got into him a few times just because I felt like when we came out, we were really flat. We weren't contesting shots hard. That's not how we play. We don't play backed off like that. That's not our style. So I thought we were passive. I thought that they beat us to a lot of 50-50 balls, and that's not what we do. And I wasn't happy with that overall until the second half. I thought first half a lot of times we could have dove on the floor and got it. That's what we do, and that's not what we did today. But we found ways to win. So we found ways. We battled on the boards in the second half. We made it really hard for their best players to score, and I think we guarded them really well. And, it was a battle of some of the top defensive teams in the conference and in the country, and so I thought this was a good battle. And these are good wins for us. Every win is so hard in the Pac-12. But I don't know why we had such a slow start. I don't know what that was. Maybe it's because it's a noon game and they're just still half asleep. I don't know.
How did it feel seeing Shayna play the way she did today?
Yeah, so Shayna, she was great. They didn't really have an answer for Shayna in the middle of the floor, just driving it or going off of flat on balls. I think Shayna did a really good job of finishing. I think she missed like one easy layup, and I think pretty much besides that she was finishing. And I think what I like that she also did was she didn't force anything. It wasn't like they were contested layups. She was beating people, causing rotations. She did a great job of finding people. She scored big baskets when we needed it, and I don't think she's used to shooting that much because she was tired out there. She had to go and get some salt and was cramping and stuff. And I said, Shane, you're not used to working hard on both ends of the floor. So I was just giving her a hard time, but she played an incredible game. 28 points, but look at her stat line. To be 10 for 13 as a guard that handles it going downhill against a good defensive team. And then I'm proud Shayna today made her free throws. So 6 for 8 from the free throw line. That's an area of emphasis we've been talking to her about. 2 for 2 from the three. A year ago she was I think 0 for 17 or so. And right now she's at 37%. I think I don't have the updated stats, but. And then 3 steals, 21 efficiency. That's some good basketball by our point guard.
Shayna's had good moments this season, but have you kind of been waiting for her to have a game like this where she's the one making kind of everything happen?
I have, because I think early in the season she was really conscious about really distributing the ball and getting the shooters the ball and getting people in the right positions to score. And I think today we needed her to do that. So they're physical, they're athletic, they're a good defensive team. We needed her to go downhill and make plays, and she did that. But I'm proud of Shayna, the way she's evolved and grown and her confidence and everything. She's just a different person, a different player. She's hit some big shots for us. She's came up when we needed her. I think she's playing some good basketball, and I'm just happy for her. Her hard work is paying off. And the little areas that we emphasize, that's the stuff that I'm seeing. So that's the fruit of your labor, right? So, free throws, taking shots, doing that extra work. It may not happen the first 10, 15 games, but it happens. That's why as a player, you always work on stuff and you get better. And she's getting better in areas that we emphasize and that she really wants to improve in. And today that was at the free throw line.
Can you imagine an opposing point guard looking at the film and knowing Shayna's going to guard her and go, oh, trouble?
Yeah, because Shayna's so athletic. Shayna's a freak athlete. If you just watch, when she goes full speed, she's fast. It's different than an Aerie. Aerie was really fast on the court, up and down, but she's explosive. She has a different kind of quickness. I think Aerie was just kind of always super fast. But they're both really good on-ball defenders. They both, if they try to accelerate, very hard to catch. And where you see it in Shayna, you don't see it all the time because sometimes she gets tired. Like she's not in tip-top shape yet. She will be in a few weeks. But you see it when we're pressing and there's some kind of rotation. She's able to get there. No one else. Usually that's a layup if someone else is in there. But she's able to get there and like cut off Sherrod. And Sherrod's fast. So before, Ari was the only person that could stay with her. But Shayna's athletic and she can jump and she's not small. So she's got some God-given talent that I wish I would have had, but it's scary. Sometimes she does stuff. I'm like, how does she do that?
Was it a big battle to get her from Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think that. Well, no, because she had put herself in the transfer portal. So she had committed really early in the recruiting process. Didn't take a lot of official visits, and then when she entered the portal, obviously there was a tremendous amount of interest, and we were one of them. And then I remember back then, I knew that she could really help us, and I thought her and Ari would be incredible in the backcourt. They were just two phenomenal athletes. And so I went to Texas to see her, and then she ended up coming here. So she's been a great addition to us, I think, in every way. And for me as a coach and just as a woman, obviously, it's really been special and fun to watch her evolve. I mean, it's like a 180-degree change, just in every way. Off the court, on the court, leadership, work ethic, attitude, demeanor, everything. And if you watch her, the little things I noticed, she's walking out, the little ball kids lose the ball. I don't know if you guys saw that. But she's supposed to be running in for the team, and she goes and gets the ball for them. But there's just little things that matter, and she's done a really good job. She's completely different. Like her teammates love her. She's funny. She seems quiet, but she's not. But I think just in every way, she's just completely changed from the day she first got to Arizona. In positive ways.
The way Kate has been producing consistently, do you think she's playing herself into an All-American here?
I think it always helps continuing to win, but I think she's playing at that type of level right now. Kate's a good three-point shooter. I think her three's just been a little bit off recently because she's taken some tough contested ones, but you'll see her shoot the three better. That's an area she's worked on. But she's playing at a high level and we're winning. I think she is. I think she's making big baskets. I mean, she's one rebound away from a double-double today against a top 20 team. She's playing good. She was fouled 6 times. She went and made her free throws. She's playing good basketball. She's a presence. She's finishing stronger. She's driving it better. She's defending better. So I think she's helping us win. We know we can count on her. We run plays for her. We isolate her. So she's playing at a very, very high level, for sure.
They had 1 turnover in the first quarter. How did you speed them up after that?
We weren't playing defense. They credit to them. They made us. It wasn't like we just said, okay, they made us play that way. But we didn't respond, and we don't start the games like that. So for us to start the game and have one, so that tells me we were being soft. We weren't pressing the ball. We weren't contesting. We weren't playing the on-ball defense that we say. We weren't up how we normally are. Not acceptable. And they started a different lineup, and so we were supposed to play a certain way, and we did not do that. I think after the timeout, they started to play a little bit better. But, I think lack of intensity. I don't know. That's why sometimes I hate noon games, but we got to suck it up, right? Did not play the way we should. But after that, I felt like it was a completely different game. And that's credit to us and just our defense. We were down, I think, 7-17. And then we battled back, had some big stops, and really got momentum, then tied it up by half. I think that was a big surge for us. And Colorado's good. I think we made them a little uncomfortable, but they made us uncomfortable. They punched us in the face. And we never want that to happen at home. I mean, luckily we're not in Colorado, because in Colorado we would have been down 30 at half, right? So at home, I think your crowd helps you, and they enable you to take those punches. On the road, it would have been a different game. We probably would have lost this game starting out with like a 10, 15-point deficit. So, our crowd helped. We had a great crowd today, and we were able to make big plays down the stretch.
So, we don't know what's going to happen with Cal, but as of now, you're going to have those 5 games in 10 days. So how important is it to actually be able to play your bench?
Very important. I think a couple things. So we have some really good players on this team, and we have 15 good players. It's really hard as a coach, like when your kids are giving you their heart every day, and they're working hard, and it's hard to find time. So if you ever do this little task, and you divide all 200 minutes, it's very hard to find minutes. And so I think there's sometimes, like, I want to play Gisela more. There's some games, and we're playing against really good teams. I don't have the luxury of doing that sometimes because she's young. And to come in and make a mistake, which you're supposed to. It's hard. You just sat 30 minutes. But we don't have the time, and we've won games by like a possession or two a lot. So today we had a cushion, so it's a lot easier to play your bench and go deeper. Normally, like Araya would play more, but she got in a little bit of foul trouble early. But it's important for me to get Nettie experience because I'm thinking of the future. Like, these are players I want in our program. Darren, it was great to get her on the floor, but Darren's playing behind a high-level guards. Anna Gret to get her some minutes. Samaje, it's important because the morale of the team, people staying motivated. It's very hard as a player. You're working your butt off every day, and then you never have an opportunity. But as a player, it's hard to understand that it's difficult finding minutes. And no team in America plays 15 people. So I think that's a catch. But with all these games, I can't play Sam 35 minutes and expect to be ready at the 5th game. And so I thought I did a really good job with minutes today. I mean, Sam still played 30, but Kate 28, like under 30, I think is good. Lauren 17, Shayna 27, Bendu 16, Helena 29. I think that was good. And then Coy gave us good minutes off the bench. Gisela was good minutes. Taylor. I think, we need these players. And right now with COVID, you don't know who you're going to have the next game. It's crazy. Like, one thing can happen today. They can go to the grocery store, and I may go to the game with 5 less people. And that's what's happening to Cal because it's their second time in protocol. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen anytime soon. That's why I'm glad I already got COVID because I'm done. At least, like, that's a selfish thing, but at least, like, I had it. Like, I'm okay for a few months because otherwise, every week I'm like, okay, I hope I don't have this player out, this player out. It's hard as a coach. And I mean, Charmin may not know until Monday, and then you play Wednesday. Like, it's not easy being prepared for those things. And for us, we don't know for sure if we're playing on Friday. It changes our whole week because we go from a 6-day road trip to going to LA, coming back, and then resting before Stanford. So it drastically changes our week too. So during these times, it's difficult to manage as a coach.
PJ, any questions on the phone?
Yeah, you called the timeout with about 58 seconds left in the first quarter. What did you tell your players at that point? Because, there wasn't much time in that quarter, but coming up in the second, they really started to get the defense going and things changed right at that moment.
Well, I didn't even know it was 50 seconds left. I didn't care. It could have been like 2 seconds left in the quarter. I was calling it. No, lack of intensity, lack of focus, and the lack of focus shows when, like, you just come out of a timeout, you say something, and then it doesn't get ran the second time. So that's why at one point I subbed them all out because, like, that's not a fatigue thing. I can understand down the stretch in games, you may forget stuff because you're fatigued, and so you forget things. But there's no excuse when you're not fatigued just coming out of a timeout to make a mistake, right? So just talk to them about the lack of intensity, the lack of sense of urgency, getting the 50-50 balls. That is what we do. And that is not what we were doing the first quarter. And then, like, the non-closeouts, like, I don't call closeout being this far away, putting hand up, that's not a closeout. So, like, in not rebounding, not boxing out, that was what we talked about in that timeout. And I actually told everybody some constructive criticism, like, you're not doing this, you're not doing it. I went down the line. I don't remember what I said, actually. But it was just, and I usually don't have to do that with this team, but today they needed it, and that's okay.
Any more questions?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, BJ.
Scores was against Washington on February 4th, 2021. It was Ari and Sam. So great job, Kate and Shayna. That was an awesome performance. Great to see. We'll go ahead and get started with questions for the student athletes. Alec and then Kim.
Shayna, do you think this was your best performance as a Wildcat?
What were you feeling out there today that allowed you to kind of get in rhythm like that?
I just felt like confident. Like once I started hitting shots, I was like, okay, I feel really like just composed right now, especially at the free throw line. I felt really like just composed, relaxed, which is when I play my best. So I was really confident whenever the ball was in my hands and when I was attacking the rim and taking shots. So.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't call you.
That's okay. For both of you, the first quarter didn't start out the way you wanted, and both of you picked up as the game went on. what was it changed? How did you do it?
I think we just kind of came out flat. We weren't really ready, I think, and we just picked it up. We didn't put our heads down, and we just played Arizona defense like we should have from the beginning.
After making that comeback in the second quarter, what was the emphasis on the rest of the game going forward after that?
Boxing out was a big thing for us. They're athletic, so we knew we had to get in there and box out and rebound. I would say moving the ball. I think mismatches too. I mean, Shayna's one of the quickest people in our conference, so I mean, just getting her the ball and her just driving down the lane was important for us.
Shane, you guys are in a difficult stretch right now. You got to play 3 games now the rest of the week. How important was it for you to have this kind of performance and for the team to have a win going into that?
I think it's really good, especially, dropping one to, Oregon recently. I think it was really good to get a couple at home and, build our confidence up going into this long stretch. I think what's most important for us going into these couple games is, just recovery is probably like the best thing for us right now. Getting our bodies checked, relaxed in shape so we can continue to win some more games. So.
What have been the most important things for you in improving your scoring and shooting?
Confidence. Honestly, I always knew I could score. Before I was a Wildcat, I'm not new to scoring. So I think it was just for me, just seeing the ball go in the hoop. Once I see the ball going in the hoop, I'm pretty much fearless at that point. That's when I'm at my most confident. So yeah, I just felt really good today with the ball in my hand. So.
What's it like for you guys to see, the reserves who don't get to play a lot? I saw you guys jumping around over there on the sideline. What's it like to see them get out there and have some success?
I think it's great. I mean, we needed a win, like a win that was, just what we did. I think we were struggling a little bit at the beginning of the start of the conference play just because I think we had Shane out, Lauren was out, and now we're just kind of getting our chemistry back together. So I think this was a good win for us and we needed it. Like Shayna said, rest is going to be extremely important for us coming out on this stretch of these 3 games coming up. So I think that it was great to have other people be able to get in and get on the floor and play.
Kate, 21-2 run between the third and fourth quarter. What was the difference there? How did you guys take advantage of your skills and your shots there?
I think for us, defense is a huge part of our game. So when we're getting stops and we're running in transition, that's one of our best things that we do. So I think it was just being able to get the confidence and know that we're getting stops and we're going to go and we're going to turn that into baskets. So I think that was kind of what we were struggling with in the beginning. In the first half was we were just kind of trading baskets, or they were scoring and we weren't. So I think it was really important for us to kind of dig down and just do Arizona defense.
Early on, it was evident that they were controlling the pace early. You guys seemed a little bit sped up. What was the message from Coach that ultimately led to you guys having success and never look back?
I would say just staying composed. She would talk to us a lot in the huddle, just, keep your cool, fight back. We're in this still, play Arizona defense and we'll be fine. And that's exactly what we did. We came out, we played how we know how to play. We played, our defense. We sped them up, and, it worked in our favor at the end. So.
Was the defense you guys played, like in the second and third quarter, or even fourth, was it the pressure defense that you guys had installed, or was that kind of just a different form of defense?
I would say it's the defense that we know how to play. I mean, I don't know, we're pretty much known for playing a lot of pressure defense. Making sure we're not fouling, putting kids on the free throw line, getting them points and stuff like that. So I think we were just very disciplined going into the second quarter, not making kind of dumb decisions, defensively gambling and stuff. I think we were very solid. So.
Why do you guys think that the Zona Zoo doesn't show up in bigger numbers?
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
Why do you think the students don't show up in bigger numbers for your games?
I mean, we're not the men's team, I think. Honestly, sometimes I think that's kind of what it comes down to, and I think that's why there's becoming a bigger emphasis on women's basketball, but it's just not where it should be. No. I mean, I think that's just kind of the sad truth. But, I mean, we're trying to get them there. I think also maybe a Sunday noon game after a Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit of it too. But, yeah, I mean, I think we're fighting to get more people, and I think that we have a lot of normal fans, but we need more students to come to our games. I think it's a huge factor for us. When we play at home, people don't want to come play us here because we have one of the best fans in the conference. So I think that that's huge for us, and we definitely need to put a bigger emphasis on getting students to our games.
For a while there, you guys didn't have any free throws, so was that a point that Adia was trying to make you guys be a little more aggressive? I think you only shot 11 free throws, and both you guys are the ones that shot free throws.
I would say, I mean, we're aggressive. I think sometimes we maybe go away from the physicality sometimes, so I think that's a little bit on us. But also, I think it's just sometimes we're just not there. I don't know. So I think we just need to be more aggressive. We need to drive the lane because we haven't really been shooting that many free throws in the past couple games. So that's definitely something we need to work on. And then on the other end, making sure that we're not fouling because they shot, I think, 24 free throws to our 11. So that's definitely something we need to be a little bit more disciplined on the defensive end when it comes to putting them on the free throw line.
PJ on the phone, do we got any questions?
Yeah, I know that your defense always sparks your offense, and it did in this case today. But what else were you guys seeing, sort of the mismatches that Kate, you and Shayna just sort of took over at a certain point, and there were definitely some mismatches that were there that didn't seem like they were there earlier in the game?
I think that, like, just kind of like you said, I mean, it's a broken record, but our defense really does feed our offense. When we were able to get stops that fed our momentum going forward, running in transition, we want to get transition buckets, easy buckets. And, and then, once me and Kate, we started hitting shots from the perimeter. So then, that changes Colorado's defense. Now they got to guard us, instead of compacting the paint. And then that opens up opportunities for drivers like me, Bendu, anybody who's willing to get to the rim. It opens up a lot, especially when we got to the free throw line. We put a lot of their best post players, their paint defenders, in foul trouble. So that changes the way they can guard us too. They're not defending the rim as much because they don't want to get 5 fouls. So there's just a lot of different things that went into why we won this game and why we were successful all around as a team. So.
Any more questions for student athletes? Awesome, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks.